And we are going to get right into it. Shalom and radiant rising worldwide world. That is the WHIRL wide world, as we are all awakened or not. Everybody up in this universe is whirling and swirling and twirling into a new everything, a new epoch, a new day, a new calendar, a new creation, a new earth, a new world, a new paradigm, a new chapter, whatever you want to put on what is taking place right now. We are leaving the old and entering the new. We are in a cosmic chaos, y'all. And why do I feel, look, I've never been in a, well, I have been in a pulpit, but I like, why do I feel like preaching today? I got Mama Cheryl energy. I'm fired up today. We are in a cosmic chaos, and today is all about how we can not only be within the eye of the storm, but how we can be the I am in the storm. How we can take our power and use it for our benefit. That's what today is all about, getting out of the natural and that which can be seen with our two eyes, what I call the second and third eye, or the second pair of eyes, and work and operate and create from our first eye, right? That's what today is all about. So I'm going to share this information very quickly. In fact, let me see, I'm going to do my timer because I was sharing just a little bit earlier for those who came in and just came in the building. This could easily have been a Sunday summit, a 2-hour build Sunday summit, but I'm going to condense it into about 15 minutes, 20 minutes or so before we give and receive a breath, receive and release the breath, and have Yogi G come in with the oh so powerful and much needed anchoring of the meditation. We are in a time of chaos. In the cosmos, or in the universe, this chaos is controlled and creative. Here in the world, because we all know that as above, so as above, so below, while the universe is doing this controlled yet feverish dance in a very creative way to create our new world, the inorganic ones, the adversaries, the inverters, are practicing their contrived and outdated chaos. It's an old playbook. We know what's happening. We see what we're looking at. And all of us in this building know what we're looking at, this digital building. And I'm here just to remind us that what we're looking at is not real, and that the reality of our design is what is soon come in this earth realm. What we're looking at, again, the loud noise that is just being screamed, and all of the actions and everything to distract, just on and on and on and on, it's not real. Is not real, double entendre. It is contrived and outdated, and it is soon to come to an end. What is the difference between the chaos of the creative and the chaos of the inverted? The divine versus the depraved. The word chaos was taken from the studies of the ancient Egyptian nun, or also spelled nu in some translations. Nun is a representation of spirit, as we all know. Nun are those primordial waters from which all is birthed. It's that infinite source for creation, that formless potential. It's that silent depth before manifestation. It is a very fertile womb from which we created all things for thousands and tens of thousands of years before this latest takeover that occurred about 6,000 years ago. We were creating in harmony with spirit, with nature, and we operated empires impeccably across this planet in harmony with each other. No, it wasn't all kumbaya and everybody agreeing on every single thing, but everyone had a reverence for the divine. Therefore, we had a reverence for each other because we respected and could see and recognize the divine that was in everyone. After the Greeks left Egypt, they began the process of inverting the knowledge that they had learned, because those who are in opposition to the divine are of their father, the demon, Satan, whatever you want to call the adversary. They are of their father, the devil, and all they know how to do, whoever is operating in that energy, and it's not a color thing, it's an energy thing. Okay? So all that are operating in that inverted energy, all they know how to do is to steal, to kill, and to destroy. The only three things that the inverted energetics do are steal, kill, and destroy. So when they started the teaching on the nun, their word for this energy is chaos. The reason that they could not relate to the nun, to the primordial waters, is because primordial waters represent spirit, and there is no spirit, there is no form of the divine in them. So they could not come, they did not come out of the waters as our ancestors from Lemuria and from Atlantis. So there was no, and there is no, and there can be no relating, because they do not have that, they do not possess that divine spark. Chaos, from the inverted point of view, is a gaping void, nothingness. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Shout out Billy Preston. And I'm not stunting, believe you me. Nothing from nothing leaves nothing. And that's what we are going to witness. I believe that all of us in this room will be alive to see this manifestation. It is a chasm, an emptiness, literally means that which yawns open, which lets you know it is the inverted entities are asleep. They're like the walking dead spiritually. Chaos is not water. Inverted, the very opposite, right? It is not water. It is not substance. It is not fertile matter. It is like a gap, a separation from the divine. So knowing this, we literally have to, this is what is so important in this hour. We must turn our face, meaning our energy, meaning our attention, away from what is or what seems to be, into what is on the way, into what we desire. We must focus our energy and attention, y'all, on that which we know to be true, even though it doesn't look like it right now. Why? Because the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the I am, to the pulling down of all of these fake strongholds, casting down imaginations and every high thing. I got to clap here because, you know, that means we're really serious. Every high thing that exalts itself against this knowledge, against the knowledge of the divine. That's 2 Corinthians 10, 4 and 5, Lutetia Lovely version. This is where the victory is for us. We're always saying, well, they've got all of the weapons and they, quote, the nefarious they have all the weapons, they own the media, they have the power, they this and they that. It doesn't matter, because that is not how we do war. That is not how we break the chains and come out of this false construct. It is with the Spirit, not by power or by might, but by the Spirit. And we're there. We have tipped the scales. That's why it's so important to not get distracted. That's why there's all of these distractions happening, these contrived and outdated forms to keep our energy low, our attention diverted, so that we don't go within, tap into our magic, and turn this ish upside down. I mean, literally, and I've been saying this literally since I met y'all, that we could turn this around in 30 days. And I know it sounds unbelievable, but believe it. If just enough of us, it wouldn't even take everyone, if just enough would focus and hone and pray and meditate and keep our minds focused on the earth that we're bringing in, it could topple in 30 days, because everything is energy. Their weapons are energy. The media, it's energy. And all it takes is a shifting of that energy. So the cosmos has been in the nun, called chaos, a controlled and creative chaos, letting us know what time it is. There's literally a story being written across the sky, letting us know what time it is. And so this meet up, this session, this presentation is just to remind us, because we all already know all of this, what we're looking at, so that we can align with the divine, so that we can flow with nature and ride this wave into the new earth that is soon come. So everyone knows that, and this has been going on in earnest, this heightening of the dawning of the age of Aquarius, the start of a new epoch, and all of that has been going on since the Saturn and Jupiter conjunction in 2019. But I'm just going to go very briefly. See, I'm already at let me see, where am I at? Yeah, I got to keep going. Um, I'm just going to quickly go over where we've been at, so we can understand where we are and how we can navigate these next few weeks going into the true new year and the rest of this year. So we all know that on the 17th, there was a major convergence of several cosmic happenings. The new moon in Aquarius, that is represented by the water bearer, or as the divine showed me, that is a representation of the spirit of the Christ being poured out on all flesh. That is part of the great awakening that has been occurring across the globe. People waking up, people understanding that they've been in a false construct and that none of this is real, people unlearning everything that they've been taught. There was a solar eclipse, the ring of fire, in the year of the fire horse. There was a convergence of 7 calendars, including the first day of Ramadan from the Islamic calendar and Lent from the Christian calendar. And then 3 days later, on the 20th, Saturn and Neptune came conjunct at 0 degrees of Aries, also called a world axis. Now, why is that important? Because the universe is telling us it is a new day, that everything is starting over. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac, meeting Saturn, which represents order, represents government, represents time, right? Met with Neptune, the spirit. Met with the spirit. So the spirit is connecting with those worlds, and it's starting over. The last time this specific conjunction occurred was 1702. And there's a whole deep dive on what was happening around that time. It signifies a hard cosmic reset, as above, so below. On the 26th, Mercury entered retrograde in Pisces. Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which is often considered the most sensitive sign in the zodiac, representing emotion, introspection, high intuition, creativity, and spirituality. It is a time to go with the flow. It is a time to ride this wave in creative ways in our spirituality. The universe is on our side, speeding up the inevitable, which is the complete downfall and dismantling of the false construct, i.e., the matrix. On the 27th, there was a planetary parade and alignment of Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Again, a whole build can be done on what each of those planets represent to what's happening now. Just know that the writing is on the sky. The writing is on the wall and in the sky. The writing is in the sky. And we are coming up to a blood moon happening in Virgo, which is very much about organization, about paying attention to detail, about uh, practicality, etc. And at the same time, because it is happening in a blood moon, which is a lunar eclipse, which is bookmarking the solar eclipse that happened on the 17th, it is a time for us to let go of control. And I'll speak deeper on that as we move along. This is a message from Dr. Joseph Michael Levry. He is the founder of Root Light, a creator of Nam Yoga. When I was in California, I visited Root Light often. He had some powerful, powerful meetings, and people like that, and people across the globe, and their supporters, and the people that they're teaching all across the globe, there is meditation. There are things being spoken into existence. So we are not alone. The scales have tipped. It's not going to make the news, but just know that the awakened are shaking things up. There is a specific coordinate in the celestial system known as the world axis. It represents the absolute beginning of a cycle. For the first time in over 9,000 years, Saturn, which is the planet of structure and boundaries, and Neptune, the planet of vision and the subconscious, are meeting at this exact point. The window between now, that was February 17th, and March 5th, is bookended by a solar and lunar eclipse. In practical terms, actually, that's March 3rd is the lunar eclipse. In practical terms, these eclipses act as a pressure seal. Before March 3rd, it's saying March 5th, but the lunar eclipse is on the 3rd. Before this book ends, our long-term direction is fluid. We can still pivot, we can course correct, we can redefine our goals, we still have a little wiggle room. But after this blood moon, y'all, this cycle locks, and the direction that we are heading becomes a fixed path for our foreseeable future. So if we are operating on old habits, outdated fears, if we still have cluttered energy, if we are still trying to live in the matrix as the matrix operates during this window, then we are effectively programming those negative patterns into our permanent future. And that's what we don't want to do. What we want to do is understand that those of us who are awakened into the Christ consciousness, we become as new creations. Old things are passed away, and behold, all things, metaphysically, energetically, mentally, physically, psychologically, emotionally, become new. Second Corinthians, I believe, or maybe it's First Corinthians. I didn't put it down. 5:17 LLB, Letitia Lovely version. So all of that to say, y'all, our power, and this is not a new statement. We say this all the time. We all know it. We all practice it at varying forms. But now is the time to really intensify in this year of the fire horse, to really intensify our intention where it comes to what we are thinking, what we are speaking, what we are paying attention to, because we are literally creating our to now, as Dr. B. Serious says. We are creating our to now. The more we focus on the matrix, we are the battery, we are the energy, right? We all know that. So the more we focus on the matrix and all of that shenanigans, the more energy we give it. The only reason the matrix hasn't collapsed is because of us. The melanated hole is the only reason the matrix is still standing, because we're still awakening. We're still coming out of that slumber and out of that mind control and out of that brainwashing to realize how powerful our thoughts are, how powerful where we put our attention is, how powerful what we think about and talk about is. Right? And we're gonna share more on that in the sharing and caring session in just a little bit. But as we go into the breath, I want us to really be mindful of everything that I just so hurriedly shared. That we simply, in fact, to just break it down, that we remember that we are the I am. And that whatever we're putting after that, those words, whether they be the literal words, I am, or whether it be in our conversation, what we are not. Because anytime that we give power to the inversion, then what we're saying is we're not able to overcome that. Well, you know they're going to do that. Well, you know they're never going to let us bop, bop, bop. Well, you know they got all the dot, dot, dot. Well, you know we just going to keep Power to the matrix, power to the inverted, power to the adversary. We must become cognizant of what we put after the I am. So this breath is going to be a bit different. We are in the year of the fire horse, so we're going to take more of a fire breath. And I'm also incorporating, I have been doing, and many of us are familiar with mudras, and we've been doing them for a long time when we meditate and things like that. And I would like to incorporate mudras into this breath. The specific mudra that I want to incorporate this rising is the Hakini mudra. It is where we take our fingertips of each hand and place them against each other very gently, as the image shows. You can also relax your fingers a bit if it's more comfortable, where your hands are creating more of a circle. Either way is fine. Mudras are simply gestures. We all know that there are nerve endings all over our body, and specifically in our fingers, that relate to different areas metaphysically and physically. Won't get into all of that, but mudras are very powerful. And this specific mudra, I kind of call it the universal mudra, because it can work for almost any situation. It's a gesture of mental alignment and unified awareness. It's associated with the first eye, also commonly called the third eye. It is the integration of the left-right brain energy, the left hand being intuition, representing the lunar, the right hand being logic, representing the solar. It harmonizes our dualities, a very Libra thing. In this instance, it balances our breathing, which is why I'm led to just incorporate this mudra. It will just help our breath and our brain aeration, helping the breath that we inhale aerate our brain matter. It helps with clarity, concentration, cognition, insight, inner vision, intuition, and psychic perception. Physically, along with the brain, it helps to regulate our blood pressure and is beneficial to the heart and lungs. So as we kind of get ourselves ready to meditate, kind of shake out if we're stiff, have a check-in with your body. If you feel any stiffness, if your shoulders up around your ears, drop your shoulders, kind of run your neck around, get seated comfortably, in your chair, or if you're laying down in your bed with your feet placed on the floor, or if you're laying down, making sure that your legs aren't crossed. Wiggling, especially for the sisters, your hips around so that we can release that stagnant energy that we all keep in our hips, that drama and trauma, isms and schisms. A lot of those lower vibration emotions are caught sometimes within that root chakra. So just wiggling that around and then regaining this mudra position of the Hakini mudra. Lastly, as we do this 4-8 recalibrate, breathing in for 8, holding for 8, breathing out for 8, and holding for 8, I would like us to do something just a bit different. I would like us to inhale and exhale through the mouth. As we inhale, I would like us to place the tip of our tongue at the top of our mouth and breathe in from that position. Hold from that position. And then as we release, we relax the tongue. And we will do this for 4 counts. Is everybody ready? So we're going to breathe in and out through the mouth. And as we breathe in, we're going to take the tip of our tongue and place it on the roof of our mouths. All right? Okay, here we go. And breathe in. Hold. Release. And hold. There's no talking with my tongue on the roof of my mouth. So here we go, number 2, and breathe in. Through the mouth, and hold. Aware of the mudra, and release. Staying in that energy of I am, and hold. 2 regular breaths. Breathe in and out. Just relax. Breathe in and out. Last 2. And breathe in through the mouth. And hold. And release. And hold. One more time. Breathe in. Hold. And release. Release everything, all the tension, and hold. Okay, shake it out, shake it out. I hope that you felt the difference. We'll talk more when we get into the sharing and caring about how we can use this mudra during this Mercury retrograde. We'll get more into that in the sharing and caring, but how we can be the eye within this storm. And with that being said, it is time to bring the meditation maestro into the building.
Grand abundance, everyone. Grand abundance. Well, that was a good breath. So we'll slide right into this. And in this meditation, we're going to be calling on divine protection. So, as we always do, beloved souls, take this moment to settle in. Find a comfortable position, whether you're seated or lying down. Extend your spine as long as you can. Stretch. I want you comfortable. And close your eyes gently. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Let us breathe softly into our bodies. Breathe in and breathe out into open space. Now, allow your awareness to drop into your heart. Feel the rhythm of your breath and the beat of your soul. With each inhale, gather your energy inward. And with each exhale, release anything heavy. We'll start with relaxing your face. Allow the muscles to just relax. It's nothing for them to do. Now relax your shoulders. Give your body permission to relax. Now tell your spine it's time to relax. Melt into the breath beneath you. You are held and you are ready. Now together, we begin the sacred call. Whisper silently to yourself, I call in divine protection now. I invite the light of the Creator to surround me. I call upon my highest guides, angels, and ancestors of love. Wrap me in a cloak of sacred power and radiant light. See it now, a golden light descending from above, wrapping around your head and your body like warm silk. This is the shield of the divine. Pulsating, glowing, protecting. You are surrounded by grace, and you are held in the hands of the infinite. With your breath, let this protection expand to the world. Inhale and feel it grow around your heart. Exhale and feel it stretch beyond your body. Now repeat silently or out loud. No harm may enter this light. No fear may linger in this presence. This protection is infinite, ancient, and alive within me. You are not alone. The divine walks with you. You are not unguarded. The spirit world responds to your call. Now, affirm these sacred thoughts. I am divinely shielded in this realm. My energy is sacred, sovereign, and strong. Every step I take is grounded and guarded. I am a vessel of light, and the light surrounds me now. Let these words sink deep into your spirit. Let them anchor into your breath, your bones, and your being. Now take 3 deep breaths at your own pace to ground in this protection. And slowly begin to return to your body. Wiggle your fingers. Wiggle your toes. Roll your shoulders. Move through your hips. Breathe deeply in once more. And when you exhale, whisper, "Thank you." You've called in the divine, and the divine has answered. You are protected. You are empowered. And you are whole. Much love and protection to the soul family. Namaste.
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 Thank you.